day and welcome to The State. Thank you for choosing us. The show is brought to us by Christian Service University, located in Kumasi in the Ashanti region. I'll be back with details. Please stay with us.
The Christian Service University, a fully chartered private university in Ghana, is inviting applications for admission. Undergraduate programs include BSc Nursing and Midwifery, Computer Science, Information Technology, Bachelor of Business Administration, BA Communication Studies, Planning and Social Development, and Theology with Administration. Postgraduate programs include MSc in Accounting and Finance, Monitoring and Evaluation, Corporate Planning and Governance. We have MA MPhil Communication Studies, MA Christian Ministry with Management, Event Management, MPhil English and Mathematics Education. With quality, faculty and state-of-the-art facilities, we blend academic work with entrepreneurial mindset in all our programs. For more information, please call 0246 275375, 0240-154825, or 0244-596603, or visit our website www.csuc.edu.gh. CSU is located at Odeneho Kwadaso on the Kumasi-Obuasi Road, 100 meters off Star Junction. Choose CSU today to secure the future of Africa.
And to make him better known.
Seek the peace and prosperity of the nation, for in its prosperity lies your own prosperity. Fellow Ghanaians, it's time to rise in prayer for the nation. It's Methodists at prayer for peaceful elections. The presiding bishop, the Most Reverend Professor 𝗟𝗜𝗩𝗘 Samuajedu, invites all Methodists and Ghanaians to join the Methodist Church Ghana as we pray for peace before, during and after the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections in Ghana. This special prayer service comes off in all Methodist societies across the connection on Thursday, December 5, 2024 from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The passage for the prayer is Jeremiah 29, verse 11. There will also be a live prayer session on WTV on Thursday, 5th December 2024 from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and on Friday, 6th December 2024 from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. Don't miss out. Be a part of the chain of prayer to secure Ghana's peace. I will serve the church.
Welcome back. Let us settle for W Breeze. On W Breeze, what we do is to simply give you an executive summary of the topic for discussion for the day. What is the conversation for the day all about? So in exactly 5 days away, Ghana will be heading to the polls to hold its 9th successive presidential and parliamentary elections on Saturday, 7th December. Today, as we speak, security personnel and media personnel, as well as staff of the Electoral Commission, are casting their votes in the special voting exercise ahead of the December 7th elections. The major political parties are crisscrossing the country in their last lap of campaigning just to win the hearts and minds of voters. In the era of digitalization and information overload, the questions that have been raised by people are that are voters adequately informed to fact-check information that this campaign people or the politicians put out in the public? How equipped are the voters to tell or check whether what is being churned out are truly the facts? Experts have, however, expressed worry over the quantum of misinformation, disinformation, and propaganda circulating with fears that this might even escalate just 48 hours before the December 7th election and 48 hours after the elections. There will be misinformation, disinformation, and even propaganda just within this short space. But as Ghana heads to the polls on Saturday, the question we ask, are voters equipped? Are they adequately informed to ensure that they make decisive and wise choices on Saturday? We'll interrogate the issues. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back to introduce my guests.
Something in the Bible called righteous indignation. Righteous indignation is when the prophet of God is angry with injustice. Nyamankoye, nzamandideye, ode tutuye, nsandwin wankotsen wo ho. Adwin dodo no woni ye ho.
Into the scripture, every individual that God uses begins by encountering God himself. When the Lord touches your mouth, he touches your mouth to bless, touches your mouth so that blessings and goodness and mercy and prosperity and words of salvation will flow from your lips. And when you stand as a bishop and you speak, let the people know that wankasa Bible asemna wokano wakan wujidi na wone wo mo che.
Word of life, Word of Hope is kickstarting on the 1st of December 2024 at 7 o'clock p.m. and repeats on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock p.m.
Welcome back. This is The State, and on The State this afternoon we are going to interrogate issues that have been raised by experts on some of the fears and worry that there will be much misinformation, disinformation and propaganda, especially in the last lap of the campaign by the major political parties as we prepare to vote on Saturday. So we as usual going to have experts that will help us to more or less see what the misinformation that has gone into the system already and how you as a voter can fact check when you hear, before you even post, before you share. How do you tell this is fake, this is original? So this afternoon we are on misinformation, disinformation, you can say propaganda, and then we'll look at how we can tackle it. The show is brought to us by Christian Service University. Christian Service University is an evangelical liberal arts institution established 50 years ago to train men and women with ethical values for transformational leadership in Africa. Admissions for the 2024-2025 academic year is in progress. lecturers for undergraduate and postgraduate programs. CSU offers dynamic academic and industry-driven programs in nursing, midwifery, business administration, communication, planning, and computer science. For more information, please contact our admissions relations officers on 0246275 024-0154-825, 024-459-6603, or visit our website on www.csuc.edu.gh. Choose CSU today to secure the future of Africa. CSU, the university of choice. So stay glued to the set. Don't move. Don't even be tempted to even step out unless you're going to attend to nature's call, because you don't want to miss out on this conversation. We are joined in the studio by a face you very much know, very, very, very popular on our screens, but this time in a different in a different outfit, and a different portfolio, and different capacity. He is the chairman of the Greater Ankrah Regional Peace Council, Right Reverend Samuel Kofi Osabote. Welcome, Bishop, sir.
Thank you.
We are also joined on the line by a lawyer and a researcher. He is also a fact checker with Dubawa. Dubawa is a fact-checking institution in Ghana, doing a very good work. So, lawyer, researcher, fact-checker, Austin Kwabena Bracco Powers. Austin, good afternoon. Welcome to the States.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Great.
And I'm glad to join you.
Great. We are happy to have you here. So let me start off with the Bishop in the studio, right, Reverend Sir? Yeah. Just as a way of preliminary comments to the show, the special voting is underway. How have you observed it so far? How is it coming to you? What is the mood in the nation like?
Well, generally, as chairman of the Peace Council, you have rightly set the tone for me. We had placed a lot of our members of the Greater Ankrah Regional Peace Council, especially at various places, and the reports just about an hour ago, I received some reports that things are going on calmly, and those who are required to cast their votes today are doing so peacefully.
Great. That's a good piece of information to know that everything is going on calmly. I'm sure when we get into it, you realize that some people have put in certain information out there earlier that made people doubt how peaceful the process is going to go. Like, Austin, let me come to you, your preliminary comments. From where you sit and what you have heard, have you observed the special voting exercise going on? Bishop has given us from where he sits, where you sit.
I think we have our ears on the ground, and personally, we are also monitoring what is going on. And what we just want to tell your listeners, those who are watching you and those who may be listening, that we should work to protect the integrity and the outcome of the 2024 presidential and parliamentary election. And the only thing we need to do, there are two things we need to do. We must be vigilant at the various polling stations, and we must be skeptical about any information we read on social media and also in the media. These are the two things we must do to protect the outcome, or to ensure that the poll truly reflect the wishes and aspirations of Ghanaians. This will be my preliminary message.
So viewers, as the conversation goes on, don't be so surprised if you hear the Right Reverend talk about other alternative dispute resolutions issues, and we'll definitely go there because that is his space. That is where he's coming from. So we'll look at, I think it is just in the right perspective that we look at the issues holistically. But Austin, tell me, Dubawa, what do you do? Mr. Powers, Bravo Powers, if you can hear me.
Yes, can hear you.
Yes, I'm asking
so
about
Dubawa, basically, if you can hear me, our work is to walk Ghanaians through the corridors of information disorder. Now, when we say information disorder, we are talking about a phenomenon which transcends fake news. So, information disorder cut across a lot of genes. So we are talking about misinformation, malinformation, and disinformation. These are the 3 categories of information disorder. So what we do is that we train journalists in how to detect fake news, how to combat fake news, and how to use open source tools and to strip information down to the barest minimum. And we also help get to spot fake news whenever they see them. So basically, we help to clean the information ecosystem to make sure that Ghanaians get access to the true information, only the true information,
only
and
the
nothing
true
more.
information. I see. That's great. Dubawa has been making the waves now. I think fact checking. I'm sure you've come out recently with whatever is out there to confirm whether it is fake, whether it is true, and I think it is helping because we really need to work at just like you referred to it, information disorder. Viewers, I'm sure you really want to see the face behind the voice. We'll work the lines and then to make sure that you see his face. But whilst at that, Right Reverend Sir, let me come to you. Misinformation, disinformation.
Well, this is a worry to us, and just from where my panelists had just said, this is what we have also been trying to do as a peace council. Trying to, right from the beginning of the year, educating our constituencies. Even as I'm speaking now, there are some, we call them hotspots, where we have gone to. Tomorrow in the next few days, we are going to the last lap. And most of the things we are dealing with, how people receive information. Prior to coming here, you will see that this is not only to us, but this is a worldwide phenomenon now. Let me just read something that I just read coming from the context of the U.S. elections. It says that the more we do research on the impact of fake news, the more we can see how it's impacting society as a whole. This is a research that I don't need to put together the people, but the important thing is the information. We tend to think that our opinions, attitudes, and beliefs are our own, but that's not 100% correct because we are influenced by what we see. Fake news absolutely influence our attitudes, our beliefs, and we also know that can influence our actual behavior. Otu, as we have gone round, this is exactly the point. As we interact with the constituencies, trying to educate them, as they ask us questions, we see that most of the questions are based not on facts. But we heard this. We heard that the Electoral Commission said this. We hear this. We hear this. We hear. They have no means of sifting this information. So that is what has formed their opinions. So whilst we are trying to, if you like, re-educate them, their minds are already set up because of what they have heard on social media, and they have no ways and means of critically examining them. Let me just give one typical example.
Please do.
Whilst we monitored the previous elections, that 2020, for example, we voted at a place at our polling station, and when we were monitoring from the radio, heading towards where we have been assigned to observe. But whilst we were listening to the radio, news was filtering in that there was a problem. I would not like to mention the constituency in a particular area. When we got there, this was a completely false information that had been put up. Now, what the Electoral Commission had done in this particular area was to ensure that people move quickly to vote. So they had designed that they will put them in alphabetical order. So if your name starts O, Osawiti as me, because Ankrah is A, so all A's go to one side, all O's go to, and so forth and so on. Now somebody had put on it on the social media that people are being disenfranchised. They went there, they couldn't say, when they got there, they said, get to this line, so they are not even voting. And by the time we got there, because I was monitoring it in the radio until I got on the radio before I got to the site, when I got there, the whole security apparatus was there, including the Inspector General of Police. Meanwhile, there was nothing going on. The people were just moving from their alphabetically. But what was on the news was that people had gone to vote and they were being disenfranchised. I was a little bit surprised. How can this be the news?
Exactly. And it gets there.
And it gets there. And so by the time we got there, there were mass of people. Exactly. They were massing up to come and check for it. Exactly. When they got there, they were surprised.
Exactly.
So sometimes the things we hear, must be verified. Okay, and as we are getting closer to this, just this morning, in preparing for this, I was trying to monitor again the social media. Then somebody has posted this on the platform that the ballot, the order of the ballot papers, have changed, and one political party's number has moved to another one. The number of candidates was supposed to be 30; they are now 12, and the EC said it was not going to change anything by Lucia. Then another news came to say that look, what has been put on is a false news. Ankrah.
It is, Bishop.
This is where we are getting to.
It is. It is serious. You can imagine. Recently, I want to believe viewers will recall that somebody had sat on air and said that some people will vote on one particular day when others will, and you'll be surprised.
It is gaining currency again. This morning I monitored, because the kind of work we do as Peace Council, we share information from Ankrah, and what you are saying has just happened again this morning. And
you can imagine.
So this is forming. You see, these things begin to form the opinions of people about the EC.
Exactly.
The opinions of people about the security agents. I just told you a few seconds ago that the security, what we are hearing at least, such as. But you also hear the fake news that the electoral commission, the security people are making sure that they hide the votes. I mean, a whole lot of things going on. So these are the fake, and they will continue.
Just like the report is saying, 48 hours to the D-Day, it's going to go up.
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 And these fake news mongers, you realize that they not only attack the process, they attack the institutions that do it. Just yesterday, a circuit court in Accra has sentenced one gentleman to 4 years imprisonment for coming to say that the IGP is recruiting NPP people to come in more or less kill citizens, kill citizens into going into the election, and the law has dealt swiftly with such people, and the harm it causes. By the time you realize it has spread like wildfire, and people will believe it.
Now let me read you what the research is also saying. It said that the intent of these posts, fake news, misinformation, is very clear. They pick hot topics that we are divided on. That parties are divided on, and discussing as a nation, such as economic issues, educational issues, etc., etc. I'm just trying to put it in our context. And then they find the weaknesses against each other, and the entire purpose is to divide us and make us fight each other from within. You see, so nothing. You see, we don't want the peace, or we want the peace, and yet we are putting out there information, or if you like misinformation, that is not rather bringing about the peace.
The peace that.
So, as a Peace Council, we get worried that we are talking about peaceful elections, and one of the things that will help us to have peaceful elections is to have credible news, credible information. So if getting closer to these elections, within a twinkle of an eye, people's minds can be changed against the very state institutions that are supposed to safeguard our elections. And that is what we are trying to caution ourselves against.
We really need to intensify our efforts to make sure that we don't get there. Austin, welcome back. Let me come to you, Austin. So we've been hearing this campaign about misinformation, disinformation. All we hear is formation. Is there a difference? Yeah, Austin, I'm asking to help us define misinformation and disinformation. Is it the same thing, or we are talking about different concepts?
Yes, I think it's important to understand that they are all not the same. And usually we are accustomed to using the word misinformation instead of disinformation. Now, like I said, the information disorder comes in 3 categories. We have misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. So when we talk about misinformation, it's sharing false information mistakenly. So misinformation is when someone shares false information mistakenly without an intent to deceive or to cause harm. However, disinformation is the sharing of false information with intent to deceive and to cause harm. Malinformation also is the sharing of private information with intent to cause harm. So misinformation is the sharing of false information, but the intention of the sharer, or we say the propagator, is not to cause harm. It is mistakenly. And usually, sometimes, it does happen in story writing. When a journalist reports a story or writes a story and uses a picture, a different picture of someone, of the newsmaker, and captions it as though the picture was taken at the event he or she was reporting about. So it's a mistake.
So that is misinformation.
Pardon?
I said that is misinformation because it wasn't intentional.
Exactly. The intention was not to deceive and to cause harm. So let's take it that you are following, let's take that I'm following Right Reverend. And Right Reverend, I'm following Right Reverend on social media. And Right Reverend posts something. And because I'm an ardent follower of Right Reverend, I also share the post. Now, I may not know the intention of Right Reverend for sharing that post, but I believe it is genuine. So, if it turns out that the information is wrong, I may be, you can say I may have misinformed my audience, but you can't say I have disinformed my audience because my intention is not to deceive them. But with disinformation, the intention of the bad actor, or let me say the propagator, is to cause harm and to change narratives and to muzzle out the voice of people, to steal the verdict of people. The agenda is to cause harm, and the intention is to disinform, to deceive you. That is where we say disinformation.
So Austin, before you define the ma, let's place this in context. So the gentleman who said that some people will vote on the 7th and others will come the following week to come and vote, was it intentional? Was it disinformation or information he was giving the people?
So you see, purely disinforming the people. So his action falls directly under disinformation, which is the intention. In criminal law, in law, we say that if the mind of the man is not guilty, the man himself is not guilty. When you read the law to spread false information, your mind must be guilty. Disinformation means your mind must be guilty. What you are doing is wrong. And what the gentleman did was purely disinformation, because we all know that in this country we have never voted on separate days for the various presidential candidates.
Exactly.
I mean, since 1992, we have never done separate days. And for a journalist to sit on media, on a media platform or a media outlet, to churn out that information, it's propaganda and it's disinformation. So the intention is to deceive people, to make sure that those who have the intention or the plan to vote for a particular candidate will go and vote for another candidate with the hope that on another day they will get the opportunity to vote for their right candidate. This is a clear intention to deceive and to harm. And it is disinformation in simplicity.
The malinformation.
Yeah, so you see, with malinformation, it manifests. It's also, but you see, malinformation the intention is also to deceive and to hurt and to harm. But you see, malinformation is when someone shares fake information. So you keep someone in confidence, and an altercation occurs, and the person decide that let me harm this person or let me harm as A or B, then the person leaks your private information to a third party or on social media. That is malinformation. So you see, even though it is your private information, the person's action may have been accentuated or motivated by malice.
Yeah.
And to hurt you and to cause harm.
Okay.
So you see, usually we say that the difference between the three categories is the differences are intention and intention to cause harm.
Intention.
That is the major difference between the three categories: intention to cause harm. But like as misinformation, the intention is not to cause harm. It's just a mistake, which ends up to be a bad information or false information.
So what I'm sure most of us will be referring to should rather be disinformation, because we see the intention of some of these stories as they come up is to, like Right Reverend mentioned, to more or less steal our peace, to divide us, not to bring us together. So viewers, you are still on The State, and this afternoon we are looking at misinformation, disinformation, and the lawyer just added malinformation, and there's also a bit of a propaganda. And we are particular about it because we are just a few days away from the election, and these things are becoming rife. Experts are really worried what we are churning out on social media, what we share, what we say, and the impact. That is how come the Right Reverend is stating strongly the Peace Council's position, just to maintain the peace that we have and enjoy. Austin, let me come to you before I come to Right Reverend. I'll take him to history small, so he will tell us a bit about propaganda. But let me tell what you said. From where you said, have you fact-checked so many or so much disinformation, especially in the lead up to the election, as it draws nearer, from maybe the major political parties? Are you fact checking some, and what are those you have your hands on?
Yes. We've had a lot of claims that we fact check, and let me be frank, your viewers and with you. The key propagators of disinformation in this country are politicians. Because a number of the claims we fact check are from politicians, political figures, and some are government officials, opposition political figures, and they are party communicators. So clearly, and like Right Reverend was referring to, a ballot, a sample ballot paper was making the round on social media, claimed that the Electoral Commission had changed the position on the ballot paper. And you see, it was heavily done to make sure that, to deceive a particular candidate, or let me say the followers of the particular candidate. And we've also fact-checked claims by even the Vice President of the Republic. The Vice President, has been handing out false information since the start of this campaign. Also, the flag bearer of the opposition National Democratic Congress. In fact, there was a point in time John Dramani Mahama said Ghana had a significant amount of money, or received a significant amount of money during the COVID pandemic. And we fact-checked, and it was false. The Vice President has also been. So you see, these two key political figures, back to back, we've been fact-checking them, and they have been churning out false information. And the surprise, you see, it will surprise you to know that the moment we fact-check them, they will start using that information, and they will bring a different information.
Yes, I was going to ask you, Austin, the issues they are really churning out those disinformation on. I was just going to ask you that right there. That what are the issues that you just mentioned? They realize that it's been fact-checked, then they switch to another issue. So what are the key areas that they are really playing their disinformation game around?
Exactly. So I think they realize. And I think it's something they are playing on. They realize that maybe Ghanaians may not be very good when it comes to data. Ghanaians may not be very good when it comes to economic data. So they like throwing economic data about. They tell you for example, even recently we fact-checked a claim where the housing minister claimed that the GDP growth rate as of December 31st, 2016 was 3.4%. But looking at the position he occupies, he should be well aware that that is not that was not the figure produced by the Ghana Statistical Service. But here is a politician gleefully communicating to Ghanaians, telling Ghanaians that John Dramani Mahama underperformed to the point that he undergrew the economy by 3.4%. When the Ghana Statistical Service issued a notice saying that the GDP growth rate for 2020 was 3.7%. So you ask yourself, 2016, 2024, wouldn't the minister have the opportunity to assess data, value the data? In fact, economic data is one of the areas they use to throw a lot of information.
Okay.
One of the areas. Yes. Yeah. So one of the areas so when you hear them throwing figures about, you should be mindful because they may be lying. Because on daily basis, when we fact check them, their claims are wrong.
Yeah. So let me come to the studio.
Recently, Freddie Blair was saying that.
Yes.
Recently, Freddie Blair was saying that the inflation in Ghana had dropped to a single digit. But when we check, he mentioned that he had dropped. I mean, making a case for But when we check, inflation as per the GSS data is around 20 points.
Great. So I'll come to the studio briefly. Right, Reverend? So
yes.
Austin has mentioned that the politicians know that Ghanaians don't like data. We fear data. So that is
it's not that they don't like data. You see, let's focus on the elections. Remember that everybody wants to ensure that if they can communicate certain information to the public, that will make their opponents look bad. That is a basic principle underlining whether misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation.
Yeah.
Are you with me? So let's focus on, let's say, the disinformation or fake news.
Yeah.
Let me receive. I told you that before I came, I was doing some kind of research. Let me read the data. It said there is a pattern. General research has found that those who are age 65 or older tend to be more susceptible to believing fake news. Those who are very hard, right, conservative are more likely to believe fake news. And part of that comes from just a general distrust in mainstream media that they've developed over the past couple of years. You see, so people are we know this. We don't want to mention the news agencies here because that's not why we are here. But we all know them. So we are no longer listening to these people. We will listen to these people. Why? And it is also known that those from a lower socioeconomic background are more likely to believe this misinformation, and those who are less educated are more likely to believe it. You get the point? So, as I said, as part of our work in the Peace Council, we have been interacting with the communities. What are the issues that bring on peace in your areas, in communities? And as I said, because we are focusing on information, these are some of the things. So, and the politicians, as my colleague panelist said, no, they know it. They know it. So, at a certain point, they will churn out certain information they know is not true. Okay? Yeah. But they know the gullibility and the vulnerability of the area where they are sharing this information. And this is not pertaining to only one party because everybody is trying to buy the minds of the people. What we have also not said here, which we need to also say and emphasize, is that we have certain social media as it's across the world. We know CNN, for example, in America, and Fox. We know where they both stand. So within our own context also, we have certain radio, media houses that patronize particular political parties or a particular person.
But unlike the Fox News and the CNN, and where we know this are the position, Ghana here we can't.
No, unless we are playing the ostrich. Unless we are playing the ostrich, we know. We know.
Peace Council knows, or Ghanaians know.
Ghanaians know. Ghanaians know. We are trying to, you see, because in their system, the democracy has developed in such a way that people are open.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with saying that I support this party. What the Peace Council has been, propagating is using violence means, okay, to either communicate your information or communicating an information that may incite violence. So once we are building our democracy, we should be free to say that this particular media house, media house, yeah, it supports this. There's nothing wrong with that because it's aligned to this. Because why we pretend we know it? Because some of them are funded by political parties. We know.
Right. So if you are pushed, can you say which one in Ghana?
It's not for me to say here because that is not what we are not discussing. Those media houses.
So the time should come when we should be open.
Exactly. So because there's nothing wrong. Because you are a media house, you could say this is what I support, and also respect the views of the other party. What is bringing the unpeace is the fact that even when something has been churned out and people want to react, they sometimes react violently. And we as a Peace Council say, look, let us be tolerant of one another's views, because more and more of this information is going to go out. Exactly. As we get closer, you see, you may call it, for the other party is information. To the other party is misinformation or disinformation or malinformation. So it depends on where the other person is standing. And we are saying that as we are getting closer, we have been engaging the communities on the ground. And this information, sometimes they start not just only about economic issues, but the personalities
involved.
The personality, the political parties, either at the constituency level, where one parliamentarian against parliamentarian. It's not just at the presidency level. It's not just about the economy, but it cuts across. Okay, and it is becoming so scary that people are prepared to speak the West, share the West information about their opponents. And we are saying, if as a democracy, we should rather be focusing on issues that will help the people to make informed choices rather than using misinformation. And let me say that the signals we are picking up about this information, for example, has to do with the process of the elections itself. You see, the more we keep on giving misinformation about the process of the election, either to say that papers have gone here, this have gone here, and the EC, if he's also listening, must also be able to be proactive.
Right, Reverend, you hold it there. I will be back and then we'll look really at this angle that you are introducing. Very interesting. Viewers, this is still the state, and we are looking at the 2024 general elections. We are looking at the angle of information, misinformation, disinformation, propaganda. So as we approach experts are saying 48 hours to the election, we're going to have more misinformation, disinformation, propaganda, and exactly 48 hours after that. So it is a critical issue that we are having a conversation around. And on the line, helping us with the conversation has been a lawyer, a researcher, and a fact checker, Austin Kwabena Brako Powers. And then in the studio, Right Reverend Samuel Kofi Osabute, who is the chairman of the Greater Accra Regional Peace Council. I'll take a quick breather, and when I'm back, we'll look at the other leg of the discussion. Stay with me.
The Christian Service University, a fully chartered private university in Ghana, is inviting applications for admission. Undergraduate programs include BSc Nursing and Midwifery, Computer Science, Information Technology, Bachelor of Business Administration, BA Communication Studies, Planning and Social Development, and Theology with Administration. Postgraduate programs include MSc in Accounting and Finance, Monitoring and Evaluation, Corporate Planning and Governance. We have MA MPhil Communication Studies, MA Christian Ministry with Management, Event Management, MPhil English and Mathematics Education. With quality, faculty and state-of-the-art facilities, we blend academic work with entrepreneurial mindset in all our programs. For more information, please call 0246 275375, 0240 154825, or 0244 596603, or visit our website www.csuc.edu.gh. CSU is located at Odeneho Kwadaso on the Kumasi Obuasi Road, 100 meters off Star Junction. Choose CSU today to secure the future of Africa.
And to make him better known.
We are young but wise, strong yet fragile, soft but tough. We are young people. Join me, the very Reverend Gideon 𝗟𝗜𝗙𝗘, as I connect you to the world of young people. It's Why Connect, your new and exciting young people's program, right here on Wesleyan Television. It's Why Connect, connecting youth to Christ. Why Connect? The future is here. See you.
Welcome back. This is The State, and we are looking at misinformation, disinformation, as we prepare to go to the polls on Saturday in the presidential and parliamentary election. How well are voters armed with information to be able to fact check what they receive to help them make decisive and then wise choices that will ensure that at the end of the day we have a free and a peaceful election, as we have always enjoyed as a people. So we had a friend, a lawyer and a fact checker, Austin Kwabena Bracco Powers with Dubawa, and then in the studio right Reverend Samuel Kofi Osabute, who is the chairman of the Greater Accra Regional Peace Council. And we are really looking at the issue of disinformation, where it is coming from, the impact, and what we, going forward, we should be wary of, what we should be concerned about as a people, so that we save ourselves the situation that we wouldn't want to get into. Quickly, let me come to you, Austin, and then Austin, brief one on this, then you touch on, we'll look at the position of the law on that. These information, this disinformation we are getting, like you've intimated from the major political parties and the aspirants, the personalities, from what have been playing on social media and then traditional media as a whole, is artificial intelligence being deployed strictly on some of them that are being churned out? You realize that this year's campaigning is a bit different from what we are used to. AI, what role is it playing?
A lot of, one thing I want your viewers to know is that we have deepfake. So deepfake is categorized under disinformation, under disinformation. Deepfake, we use artificial intelligence to create deepfake, and usually, sometimes you either swap people's faces, or you synchronize people's voice, or you make someone do certain things that ordinarily the person will not do. I don't know if you know that went on TikTok, where Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was heard singing it. We've seen a trend, and we feel that if it's not taken,
we seem to be losing you, Austin. If you can position yourself, well, we seem to be losing you along the line.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
It's better now.
Is it better?
It's better now.
Yes. So I was saying that I don't know if you saw a video of Dr. Mabu Baumia singing a Chinese song. Did you see that video?
Yeah.
You know, so it was the use AI, because you actually saw Dr. Mahmoud Babia singing a Chinese song. Is he proficient in Chinese language? You get it. So in fact, deepfake is so AI is being employed, to create deepfake. And if take so many deepfakes, so you use either you swap somebody's face, you swap the face of 2 people or more, or you can synchronize someone to make them say the sound, or he would ordinarily not say.
Okay.
So that was the situation with the
artificial intelligence. Yeah. So they are deploying it. It's also being used. Right, Reverend. Let me come to you, Austin. I'll get back to you soon. Let's look at the position of the law. What when you churn out this disinformation, will you be arrested? Will you be in prison? Will you be?
Yeah, I think that we need to do more. We need to do more. I mean, what we are discussing is very, very serious. As I keep on saying, we are on the ground. We need to do more, because if people don't have accurate information, they are not going to be able to make the best decisions that they have to make. They are going to be making decisions based on lies. So we should be looking at our laws. I'm not a lawyer, but I think my colleague is a lawyer. We need to be looking at laws that will prohibit or limit the kind of information that people should be held liable for what they have shared out. Why am I saying this? Because these have the potential of creating a lot of confusion as against singing as a peacemaker and on peace. So let me offer some suggestions for those who have to send out information. And I'm taking this from the Rotary Club, what they call their 4 affirmations, 4-way tests. Whatever we say, whatever we think, and whatever we do, this is important. It said, is it the truth? Is it the truth? Number 2, is it fair to all concerned? We are talking about misinformation. Number 3, will it build what we call goodwill and better friendships? So we are talking to all of us, whether we are ministers of state, whether we are religious leaders, whoever has the power to communicate. You are asking yourself, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And the last test from the Rotary, I'm getting this from the Rotary, which is a good social policy. Will it be beneficial for all concerned? So these are 4 criteria we can ask ourselves when we are churning out information. Because if somebody takes an information that is not going to help us, it's going to lead us from peace to unpeace. This is our concern as a Peace Council. And which is
Austin, thank you, Right Reverend. Austin, let me ask you, are there laws that prohibit disinformation?
Yes, my brother. We have laws, but there are 2 legislations currently that regulate, or what the street will call fake news. Even though I'm being cautious in using the word fake news, because it does not really capture the other part of false information. When you look at the Electronic Vision Act, as collections, particularly Section 76, talks about spreading false information, and also when you look at,
you said the Electronic Communications Act.
Just 8. When 76 provisions on 4. Also, when you look at Section 208 of the Criminal Offences Act,
Act 29.
1960, Act 29, it has clear provisions on false information, even including rumors. It prescribes rumors, reports that are communicated with the intention to cause harm.
Okay, fear. I think that is what we famously say, causing fear and panic.
Causing fear and panic.
Great.
You get it. So these are the two key legislation, and when you are caught spreading false, it's a misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor. Exactly. So it's clearly an offense.
It's an offense, and you can be jailed.
Yes, misdemeanor. So one, you be made to fine, or you pay, and also in the jail term.
Then it's that serious. If you can go to jail for for something that you think you want to,
you can go to jail for that. You can go to jail.
Just trying to shape people's opinion can land you behind bars.
No, so is it that you must understand that false information? You are not shaping people's opinion by spreading false information. you are rather dictating. Now you are using people as robots. You are remote controlling people with your information, and it's dangerous. So as much as some of us, we believe that as much as we do not pray for, we do not ask for a high-handed legislation on the regulation of false information, fake news in Ghana, we believe that the current legislation, the legislation we have, are enough, and they are enough. And if we're able to go by them, we'll be able to curtail the excesses of false information.
Okay, so stay with me, Austin. I'll come back finally to you so that you tell us the steps or what to do to counter this information. How we as individuals can fact check and information. But let me come to the studio to Right Reverend. Right Reverend, sir, people are asking that is more or less much ado about nothing, because it's nothing new. This disinformation we have, because in the 1450s, when Napoleon Bonaparte was using the military, they were propaganda, they were spreading information. The Catholic Church once upon a time to use that to promote their teachings and all that. And we've even had a World War I, World War II, where Hitler and co have, United States and the Soviet Union have used information to control and to promote nationalism. Is it not the same thing? Just this time around, it's in a different form.
So going back, you have gone even too far. Because the recent one, which in our own African context is the case of the Rwanda case. Okay, and I visited Rwanda. Okay, and I saw the genocide. Is the same thing. So whether it is being done by a religious body, a traditional ruler, whoever, misinformation is misinformation. We are not trying to justify that. It's only because with this context we are talking about our elections and political. But yes, misinformation over the years has has caused a lot of harm. Exactly. So it doesn't matter where it is coming from. Okay, and that is what we are trying to guard against. In the case of the Rwanda incident, we watched the videos. I was in Rwanda, Kigali, at an AACC conference, and we shared some of this, and you realize that it was just one simple statement: kill the cockroaches. Who are the cockroaches? Okay, and this is what led to the manslaughter there. You see, we are looking at this thing as if it's just a social media gimmick that we are, but one careless statement, one careless misinformation, and that is what we are pleading as a peace council, that one careless information from one particular source. Most of the things we have investigated, okay, the recent small skirmishes here and there, it's just because somebody gave an information. Recently there was we are still on the misinformation, right? Yeah. So I was saying so because we have trained some of our people to give us early warning signs. Something happened, again I will not mention the particular area, and this person was able to call us and to say, look, what I'm hearing something being said on the radio, but I am here, I'm one of the people you trained. What they are saying is not true. These are the real issues. So what should I do? So I'm outside Accra. Please call the the nearest police station. And when they got there, it had nothing to do with even the political parties. It had more something to do with families that were having, their own disagreements. Okay, their own disagreements. But since I still have the platform, let me say that as a peace council, all we are saying is that some of these things may arise. It may bring about conflicts. We are more interested in conflict prevention, conflict management. Okay, as much as possible, we are training people to prevent these things, but they may occur. So we try to see how we can, the act that established the peace council, talks about how we can prevent, manage, and then what we call transform these conflicts. So let me share with our viewers the core values that I think we should all be carrying out. First one is tolerance. One or three. Trust building. We are going into an elections. Let's trust all the systems. Electoral commission, security personnel. Right now, for example, we have been told that people are being, it is only a particular political party's people who are being, recruited to go and count. All these things can be trust building. Then dialogue. Please, if something happens, we are not saying something may not happen. If something happens in a particular constituency during this polling time, during the elections, please, let's dialogue, let's talk. And then we are also talking about diversity. This is one of the core values. We should understand that not everybody is going to vote for one particular party. There will be differences. We must also talk about inclusiveness, where nobody is left out. Above all, we are saying that these elections, in order for it to be fair, free, and whatever, we must uphold the principle of integrity. And integrity is not only the Electoral Commission. The integrity is all of us. Even those who are going to vote, those who are going to count the vote, those who are going to be carrying the vote, everybody involved in the process, including the media houses, integrity must guide us so that this country, like Jesus said to us, we must become peacemakers. So blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.
Right, Reverend Samuel Kofi Sabote, putting on his clerical to pronounce peace and blessing at the tail end of his statement. So, Austin, tell us how to counter disinformation. What should we know, and how do we fact check as we wrap up?
Yes, I think the first thing every electorate, or let me say the first thing Ghanaians should be worried about is, or should do, the any information they read in the media. And in the media, I mean traditional media and social media, because there are been times where even trusted traditional media outlets have been used to propagate false information or fake news. So be skeptical. When you read or hear anything in the media, don't trust it. The second thing is that you can just go to credible websites, and there are so many credible media houses in Ghana. Visit their websites, and if there's anything you want to know about the election, the best website to go would be the Electoral Commission's website. Do not trust what you read on any media platform until you can find same from the Electoral Commission's website. The third thing they must do, basic tools. When you hear that something has happened, just go to Google. Google can give you real-time information. If things you want to know, Google will tell you. And if you don't find it on Google, it means that you have to be skeptical. It means that you must be distrusting. Now, the fourth thing you must look out for when you read any piece of information, first, you must look out for who is the author. There are some people who are so discredited that any information that comes from them is equally discredited. So look for the author and try to conduct basic research about the author. And usually, if the author is a bad actor or someone who spreads disinformation, you will get a lot of information about him. In fact, claims that have been fact-checked, claims he had previously made that have been fact. Then the final thing I want your viewers to be mindful is that in order to detect fake news, we also Google reverse image tools. In fact, we have Google reverse image tools. These are tools that are freely online. You just type reverse image tools, and you will get information.
Reverse image
tools. Google reverse image search.
Okay.
It's a tool. So Google reverse image search. We also have another reverse image search called TinEye, TINEYE.com. In fact, we have TinEye. Just type TinEye or Yandex. Yandex is YANDEX. Our reverse image tools, and this is what they do. If you see any image, any fact check, now what the people are doing is that they pick a media house and take your flyer, your sample flyer, how you go about it. Then they will put an information on the flyer and credit the information to any political figure. So pick the information about Wesley TV, maybe your flyer, the way you design your flyer. Then they create a quote and put the picture of, let's say, Right Reverend,
news cards,
and claim that Right Reverend made that claim. And because it is coming from TV station Wesley, which is trusted by many people, they will believe that, oh, then indeed, if you have it on your flyer, they think that indeed Right Reverend made the claim. These tools, Google reverse image tools, you just upload this flyer there, and it will tell you how many people have also shared the flyer, and it will also tell you if indeed it is credible or not, because it will connect you to other sites, and you can just sift through and see if it is credible or not. So let's be distrusting and let's be skeptical. This last minute, a lot of information are coming up. We have wings. They are deploying deepfake and a lot of things just to change the background. So please be careful of whatever you read in traditional media or whatever you hear from radio, TV, and also whatever you read from their newspaper, and also whatever you read from social media.
Thank you very much.
These things will help you.
Thank you very much. So let's be careful what we read. Let's not trust everything we read or view on the screens. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you, Austin, Kwabena, Brako, Powers of Dubawa, and then he's a lawyer and a researcher. Thank you for joining us on the stage. Thank you very much, Right Reverend Samuel Kofi Osabute, Chairman, Greater Accra Regional Peace Council, for joining us in this conversation. We've looked at this information and the effect, and the Peace Council's position is that let us make sure that we protect the election. We do it with integrity and make sure we continue to enjoy the peace that we have. Hillary Clinton once mentioned that we are having an information war. And the truth is our greatest weapon. We are in an information war. The truth is our greatest weapon. Let us go to the polls confident, vote, leave the premises, go home, don't fight anybody. At the end of the day, Ghana will be victorious. Go out. It is your civic duty to vote. My name is Gabriel to Ankrah. I'm back on your screens on Wednesday. Keep the conversation going. Keep talking peace, and peace we shall have. Goodbye.